In the previous video, we've seen that this right here is a special case of two adjacent angles being supplementary angles. Supplementary angles are also known as a linear pair of angles. Now, in this particular figure, this angle and this angle together form a linear pair. Now, let us quickly also understand how we name such angles and how we can represent this information mathematically. Let us say this point right here and this point right here and this point right here. Let us name these 3 points: A, B, and C. Also, let us name this point right here as O. Now, this point O is the vertex of both the angles. Now, how do we name such angles? Well, this angle right here, this one, is named as, we can simply take all the 3 points that make up the angle and write them in any order, A, O, B, let's say, and just put an angle sign in front of it. All you have to remember is that the letter in between must be the letter that represents the vertex of that angle. So it could either be AOB or it could even be BOA. Both are correct. All you have to remember is that O must be in the center because O is the vertex point of this particular angle. Now, on the other hand, we have this angle. So I'll just write the angle sign followed by, I can just say BOC. I can also say COB. Either of the two are correct. BOC. Either of the two are correct as long as O is in the center. So now I've named the two angles. Now all I have to do is write the information mathematically. Which information? Well, a linear pair of angles adds up to 180 degrees. So this means I can write that angle AOB, which is this angle, plus angle BOC, which is this angle, is equal to 180 degrees. So that is how we can represent this information mathematically. Moving ahead, I have this figure right here where I have two lines AB and CD that intersect at a point O right here. Now in such a figure, I can locate quite a few linear pair. So let us just go ahead and label them. Here, this angle and this angle form a linear pair, right? That's pretty clear. They add up to a straight angle. Apart from this, I also have this same angle and this angle this time that form a linear pair. Now let us quickly again go ahead and represent this information mathematically. Let us first deal with the two angles in red. This angle right here is AOD, right? O is the vertex. So angle AOD plus angle, well, what is the second angle? This angle right here, this one, it is DOB. So angle DOB is equal to, well, because it is a linear pair, it adds up to 180 degrees. Now for the second linear pair, I have again angle DOB. So it's the same angle, angle DOB plus angle, I have this angle right here, this one, and it is BOC. So it's angle BOC, and even this adds up to 180 degrees because it's again a linear pair. Now I can see that this right here is equal to 180 degrees and even this is equal to 180 degrees. Now because both of them are equal to the same thing, 180 degrees, therefore the two must be equal to each other. So I can actually equate this to this, right? So let me write that down. So angle AOD plus angle DOB is equal to angle DOB plus angle BOC. Now I can see that both the sides have angle DOB common. What I could do is I could subtract angle DOB from both the sides, right? It's after all a number, so I can do basic arithmetic even here, right? It's after all an angle, it's a number. Now I can subtract angle DOB from this side also. That's D angle DOB, and so DOB and DOB cancel out. Even here, this DOB and this DOB cancel out because DOB minus DOB is 0, and all I am left with is angle AOD is equal to angle BOC. Now let us look at what this actually means. What is angle AOD? Let me just clear this stuff up. Angle AOD is this angle AOD. And what is angle BOC? Angle BOC is this angle. So it says that angle AOD equals BOC. So these two angles must be equal. That is a new thing we've learned now. These two angles are also equal in case where we have two lines that intersect at a given point. Now, what do we name such angles? They are not a linear pair because they are firstly not adjacent to each other. How can they be a linear pair? So, what are these? Well, these are vertically opposite to each other, right? They're opposite angles. So, these are known as vertically opposite angles. And such vertically opposite angles are equal. So that's what we've learned in this video, that such vertically opposite angles are equal.